Look unto the source. Look unto the source. Return to your point of origin. The cosmic balance of your activity is the great central sun. Lo Alpha and Omega. See them above, see them below. Are you not the mirror of the central sun? Can you not visualize now a giant dish, a reflector, reflecting back to you in manifestation all that I am in the great central sun of being? As an inverted umbrella, see how a cosmos may manifest through you. See how that mirror can so contain and reflect the presence of God as Spirit, that that power shall be unto you to defeat those who by their distorted consciousness has mirrored the perversions of fallen ones and angels who have attained to high levels, yet turned against their origin. It is an original act of suicide by the fallen ones that is not completed until the expenditure of all that which they have been and which is due them as opportunity to repent and as compensation for those good works that are yet to their credit. Thus the long duration of evil, beloved, has been by their manipulation of the law, making certain to tie humanity to themselves, to see to it that they are benefactors, sponsors, and therefore always create society's debt to themselves. Thus they manipulate the law, beloved, yet their time is short, for they do have a karma for this manipulation, and their works are not done to the glory of God. Now, if you will enlighten the children of God and those among humanity who will listen to you, because you take the facts and figures of life as it is today and prove to them what are these sowings of the seed of the wicked, you may be able to deliver the children of God and humanity from their awkward dependence upon the fallen ones, to separate out and to let them fall by their own weight. Yes, the deliverance of the children of God from indoctrination and the false ideologies of the fallen ones. It is a mighty work, it is necessary. Yet I tell you the good joy of your effort. It is this, beloved. One child of light turned around counts for many, for it is the law of the one, and that one at his level of being and karma has access to all those vibrating at that same plane. There is a multiplication, beloved, and the fruit of the sowings of yourselves with the messengers in these years is yet coming to harvest. The harvest shall be great, and the fallen ones know it, and they seek to ruin the harvest by manipulation of weather and elementals, so that you cannot reap the abundance of joy and the souls whose time is long due to be here. All of the law is on your side, all of your knowing to make the call on the signs in the skies of the astrological configurations. All that you need to know to defeat that which seeks to defeat you is in your hand. I, your brother, in the path of the Buddha, recommend that you become fierce as Kali and super young for a while, and that you fight that fight with a fierceness from this King Arthur's court and in every place to which you shall return this summer's end. Yes, beloved, it is a time for a great battle. It is a time for a great victory. Our forces are ready. All of my armies in defense of the Buddha in every soul upon earth. My armies who defend the threefold flame and who move to stand guard lest those who have it lose it by a trick of the force and a turn of their hand. Yes, all are ready, Sanat Kumara and his legions, the faithful and true, the Lord Jesus Christ, yes. All have their armies, beloved. There is in fact not a saint or a master in heaven that does not have some company of angels that protect his mission and those who serve. The more chelas that gather around a single ascended master or saint, the more that one has to plead before the lords of karma for servants and armies and seraphim to take care of those who are the faithful. Oh, the cosmic scheme of things, I am in wonder of it again and again, as I perceive the glory of the heavens and all those stars that descend as a gentle rain upon your auras, as I see the capacity for you to break through the consciousness of limitation and mortality. I tell you, there is such an opportunity waiting for you around the corner. Yes, you who have made those mistakes and who wallow in the sense of guilt. Oh, give it to me this day, for our lighthouse of love is intact, and that love is surely unconditioned. It cannot be conditioned, but it is not unconditional, beloved. It is unconditioned by the human consciousness, yet it comes by merit, and that love always is the sword of discrimination. I say to you, put it all in the flame of my heart this day, for it is indeed an open door, as we have told you. This is a wondrous day for new beginnings. Contemplate the mystery of a new thrust of spiral and a new dispensation. Contemplate the magnitude of it and see yourself at its very nucleus and at its nadir. Understand then, to ride this spiral is most advantageous, and you who know the law of cycles will not fail to lock yourself as one with this spiral, to make yourself even tight to your body so the body can spin and the body can be a part of the inner chamber of this giant spiral of light, and you can travel through it in another dimension and in another body and contain it. Your God contains it, your Christ contains it. You are that God, that Christ, you are that Buddha. There is nothing more to say when we have said this, beloved. Everything else is surely a development of that theme. I am the theme of Buddha this day. I am that theme of the sound, of the tone of your inner Buddha, the seed of light in your I am presence. I am surely the one to remind you. Think Alpha and Omega, will you not put up signs to remind yourselves? Let your thought glance above you in moments when you must have the precise answer, lest the enemy unhorse you in this round. I am in many levels of being, presenting myself in all planes. I occupy simultaneously the etheric octave and the octaves below. I will not allow it to be that souls of light or darkness do not confront me on a daily basis. They must see me, they must know me, they must see my smile and laughter, mocking their ways or praising them on, one or the other. They must see my face in you and in little child. They cannot escape the gaze of the Buddha upon them through you. Light bearers must see my eyes. Fallen ones must become angered and enraged and know that it will not avail them a single thing. Yes, beloved, I am determined that they must look at me. And as I move through the messenger is also determined that they must see and know and deny if they will and affirm if they will. But the dividing of the way of light and darkness is the mission of the avatars and yourselves as bodhisattvas. Who among you has taken the bodhisattva vow? Tell me now. I assure you it is more among you than have raised your hands. For you have indeed determined to become disciples of the Buddha. And in one sense of the word, this is the definition of bodhisattva. And I count you as my disciples, and I know that you count me as your Buddha. Is it not so?
Yes.
Then let us see again who has chosen the bodhisattva path. Why, all of you, of course, beloved. All of you, it is true. It is true, it is true, and therefore Helios and Vesta have indeed given the renewed dispensation this day. Then take the vows of Kuan Yin. I desire, I vow to soon attain the Dharma. Yes, the fullness of the Dharma. Yes, the fullness of the way. It is all right to vow this, beloved. It is safe. It is safe. Take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. Will you take refuge in outer darkness, I ask you?
No.
Well then, what other choice have you? There is the circle of the One, and all outside of it, it is like the darkness of spaces unknown. Yes, you can take refuge. Yes, you can be imperfect. But remember, you were called upon at this July conference to select a single virtue to outpicture in this life. As this dictation was given, instantly the messenger saw the virtue that is her own and that she must continue to espouse. And that single virtue, returned to by herself daily, is the guard of consciousness, and like the rudder of her ship, calling her back to the duty of her office. How many here heard and saw the virtue of their calling, espoused it, and have continued to see that name above them? Not all, beloved, but you may do it this day. Your Holy Christ Self will tell you what is the special virtue on which you have a momentum, and what is that same virtue that you must therefore complete. You do not select a virtue on which you have no attainment. This would not be wise. Therefore, realistically assess yourself. Step apart from yourself, observe yourself in your daily service. What one quality comes to mind that you know you embody when all else fails? That is the one, beloved. That is the one. It is something that others will count on in you, something that you may already be known for among your fellow bodhisattvas. Yes, beloved, it is there. I assure you that that jewel in your being is your link to my heart and to the Sangha and to the Dharma. If you did not have it, you would not be here. Then search and find it. Polish it, cut it, and polish it again. Every day, fulfill a requirement of that virtue, and you will soon find yourself with greater attainment on one of those lines of the clock and then all of them. For a virtue of God will enhance your ability to embody all of those attributes of God. Virtue then is to be sought. And I tell you, it would be interesting to note if you could write down on a piece of paper what is the virtue chosen by God for the messenger, chosen by the messenger unto God. It would be interesting to note if you could perceive it. What is the one quality of virtue that you depend on in the messenger and that you appreciate? Then turn to yourself and say, I want to be depended on to keep this petal of the 1,000-petal lotus of Gautama Buddha. I want people to know when this virtue is needed, I am there, I uphold it, I keep that flame. Thus 1,000 of you each holding a petal, some duplicating the same virtue, of course. There is the making of such a lotus, such a thought form over our Sangha, such an assurance to many upon earth that you are walking with this in mind and that you keep that single flame, which, beloved, and this is the secret of the reward, that single flame of the crown chakra, which, by the very nature that it is God, attracts all others. This is the key to the opening of the 1,000-petal lotus. And should you journey to the level of Maitreya and his bodhisattvas, you should know that each one would shine to you with such a quality of a virtue as to be unmistakable in its identification. Yes, beloved, when you have that virtue, you can see that with it is your victory, and with the human qualities that yet abide and remain, there is that constancy and one-pointedness to keep that single virtue, and it eventually will swallow up all other manifestations which you desire to have swallowed up in the flame of enlightenment. I speak of a virtue as a point of enlightenment, for you must have a point of enlightenment to desire to embody a virtue and to make it your own. This is how you ascend. This is how you balance karma, because the rock of your strength and all of your striving is in keeping that single point of flame. Know the difference between a virtue and a quality of God and an attribute. The attributes of which we speak are on the 12 lines of the clock. The qualities of God are portions of those attributes. But a virtue is a single petal of a quality itself, like faith or hope or charity or honesty or directness or sincerity. Many, many qualities that you may describe, and yet coming down to the single petal of a virtue. A virtue has the capacity to embody the allness of God and of Buddha. And as you recite the vows of Kuan Yin, I promise you, beloved, that those mantras shall become a moving force from the levels of the unconscious and the subconscious, superconscious and conscious mind. Though you may have trepidation about giving them, though you may feel not ready for those vows, I tell you, you are ready. And that which trembles in fear, beloved, is simply the untransmuted self. Those levels of the four lower bodies that know that in your becoming this divine one, you will shuffle off those finite forms and become the full manifestation of the Sambhogakaya and the Dharmakaya. Therefore, to give up the house of habitation here below, this does cause a certain trembling. Yet, as a bodhisattva of higher attainment, even after your ascension, you may be allowed to embody in the Nirmanakaya, to appear to those who need you. This is the way and the path. Thus, do not underestimate the force of planetary fear or unconscious fear that is not a part of your soul or spirit or mind or heart, but a part of the very vibration of the octave in which you live. This octave has a static of fear and anxiety that comes with it. Thus, do not confuse this, and consider then that because you have that uncertainty, you should delay and postpone the mantras of the Bodhisattva vows of Kuan Yin. These mantras are of your true being, your true desiring, your divine reality, of which your soul was once a part until it did go forth. And it did go forth deeper and deeper into the sea, the astral sea. And in some cases, the delicate thread of contact was broken, and in other cases, the threefold flame was snuffed out. And farther away have you and others roamed. And the way back, beloved, is to take the Bodhisattva vow. This is the meaning of our summit lighthouse. This is the meaning of our Church universal and triumphant. If you know in divine reality, and you know that you know it, that in the purity of your God-free being, you desire the return, then I say use those mantras and take the vows daily, and you shall see how you become the center of a spiral nebulae. And, beloved, the fire enfolding itself, as from all of cosmos, shall draw unto you, internalizing and enfolding within you every point and increment of light, energy, consciousness, intelligence, supply, abundance, love, purity that you need to become the embodiment of the Bodhisattva that is the disciple becoming the Buddha. You see, beloved, the fallen ones have programmed the compartments of the mind of the four lower bodies with the anti-mantra. Every song they sing out of hell, of rock music, so many sayings, so many teachings, piled layer upon layer upon layer. These are their programmings. They are programmings of the anti-mantra, the anti-vow. You see, they deny even that molecule, the molecule that is the formula for your identity of being. When God says he does plant a seed in you, he means he is planting the seed that is the molecule of your identity and the key to it. And when he plants that seed in you, he seals it untouchable. It is the lost formula of the lost chord of your being. Now that seed, beloved, is planted even in the crown chakra or the base chakra or the heart. The fallen ones attempt to crack that formula, and then to pervert it, so that you do not know yourself. You cannot find yourself. You cannot find the key to your God reality, yet the seed has been planted. It is sealed until it will be safe for you to find it, until you are wise enough not to reveal it to anyone, to allow it to be seen by the fallen ones, until you are wise enough to know you need that unending protection of Archangel Michael. A high percentage of this planet is in the astral plane, and you move in that sea. Yet you are not of it, you are of the etheric octave. You are from above and not beneath. I tell you, beloved, the vows of the Bodhisattva, Kuan Yin, will displace the anti-word of the fallen ones. This is their secret. This is how they have enslaved you. This is how they have caused you to forget your origin, of which your messenger reminds you again and again. The memory of who you are has been lost, erased, displaced, and you have been left vulnerable by your own departure from the honor of God. The honor of God as his white fire in the higher octaves. Thus, would you reconnect to the thread of contact that leads to the stream of life of God?
Yes.
Understand, this is how you do it. You must make the vow, but the vow you have already made long ago, and then you did forsake it. Truly I tell you, in your heart of hearts and true being of soul, you desire that vow, but do not connect with that desire. It is this, beloved. The leopard does not know that he has spots. Individuals are not aware of the density that has overtaken them. They do not see their way out. That is why the Guru comes as the dispeller of darkness. I am that Guru to you, and I lower that mantle upon this messenger. I have placed the mantle of the Lord of the world upon her. It is a heavy mantle. It does protect and empower at once. You cannot see what you have lost. I tell you this day what you have lost, the formula of your identity, and that formula manifest in your four lower bodies. The vows of the Bodhisattva are peculiar mantras, unique. They will recreate and manifest the molecule of your identity, yet seal it in the very fire of the mantra itself, that it may not be touched. Mark me well, beloved. Should you begin this day and continue, even with one mantra a day, of the vows of the Bodhisattva, you shall come to this place, this day and date next year, to look back upon that cycle, and you shall know that my words are true, and that something has changed in you at the most profound levels of your being. And you will be delivered from the force of the fallen ones who return to the point of your four lower bodies to replay for you again and again your past sins, your past hurts, your past pains, and all that has been done to you. These are the anti-mantra, beloved. They will not go until you displace them. Many mantras we have given you will assist the process, but those do not require a commitment. How can God return to you the formula of God-free being unless you vow to return to him and on the way be the savior of sentient life? Is it hard for you to kick against the pricks of your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Is it hard, beloved? I tell you, when you resist the coming Christ, you make life very difficult for yourselves. You choose the hard way. Yes, it is very hard to kick against the Christ who comes to save you. Why not embrace your Lord this day? Never has there been a more opportune moment in these 33 years. Embrace, recite the vow, and be free at last from the struggles of your own psyche and psychology. All of that programmed into you by various fallen ones sent as family members, as personages in your life in this and previous lifetimes, to make a mess of hell out of your 4 lower bodies from which you could not entangle yourself. So complex then has the labyrinth of the subconscious become. Yes, beloved, the path of the Bodhisattva is the key. I open now the octave of Maitreya and his Bodhisattvas, who smile upon you, who send you their joy and their laughter, and they say to you, beloved, we are here because we have recited our vows. You are there because you have not recited your vows. Yes, enjoy and be enjoined by their laughter. Is it not funny? Yes, it is, beloved. This is the rejoicing today, that the heavens are opened and you see them above. Now see what they are doing, beloved. They, the ones of compassion, bodhisattvas of compassion with their Buddha, they will not be moved in pity or sympathy for you. But what are they doing? Each one has a rope that is wound on a device, and you see coming down ropes, and they are coming down upon your heads and into your hands as they uncoil them. These ropes come a long way in terms of vibration, beloved, but in terms of distance, it is up to you to create and narrow that distance. Thus, unmoved in their etheric octave of light, they extend the rope. If you hold on to that rope, one day they shall wind you up and take you higher and higher. You must have the ability to hold on to the rope. Who can hold on to the rope for any length of time without an assist, without something to stand upon? It is difficult, beloved. The key is in the recitation of the vow of the Bodhisattvas under Kuan Yin, the open door. The key is to understand that the Guru in embodiment is here to support you as you hang on to the rope and are carried aloft by your own momentum. The Bodhisattvas extend the rope, but you must make your way and provide the energy for them to crank you up again. Such a glory of God is the unconditioned love that I deliver once again as the foundation and the fulfillment of your Summit Lighthouse and ours. I, the messenger, say to you in the name of Gautama Buddha, seize and claim your rope in this hour, for your name is written on it, and your bodhisattva above has vowed to keep the flame and balance for you. If you do not claim it, another may well take it. Therefore, seize the moment and seize the rope. Seize the rope and pull it to your heart. Fasten it to your heart and rejoice. Rejoice in the path of the Guru-Chela relationship. Rejoice in the path of bodhisattvas who care, and care so completely as to understand their office of non-compromise that allows them to help us. This is the beauty of Lord Gautama Buddha and the beauty and truth of his flame, the flame with which he endowed the foundation of the Summit Lighthouse. Feel the beauty of his presence and feel beautiful in God forevermore, and be the sculptor of this form and self until it does embody and reflect the full glory of our God, Gautama Buddha.